What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk. I represent a good portion of African American men that have grown up in less than stellar circumstances. Now, we'll be honest, both my parents attended the UC system, UC Davis and UCLA respectively, but I did come up in an urban environment. My dad dealt with drugs at some times. My parents were split up. I talk about it all the time. And, I kind of grew up in a community where being a smart guy was not the best thing to do. The tough guy and the athletic guy, that was the thing to do. And what I found is that if you were not very charismatic, and then if you were not willing to engage in some of the roast sessions or fighting, people quickly lost respect for you. And it wasn't just the guys that felt like that. The young women in the community, there were some that felt like that too, okay? Because they wanted to deal with the guys that were more popular, that were more athletic. And also there was, some of the guys who had influence in my community that were drug dealers, that were older guys that were driving 5.0 Mustangs and Pontiac Firebirds and muscle cars and stuff like that. So these were the kind of ladies that women went for. And I found out when I actually ended up going to college, university and stuff like that, a lot of women that they were doing very well academically still preferred to deal with these type of men. I knew one lady, she was from Hampton, Virginia. She graduated Howard University. She was doing a master's at Georgetown and was dating a upper mid-level drug dealer who never held a job in his life, in love with the guy. Okay. Now I want to double back and talk about this particular video that's going on WorldStar, because she says that a man with a job and does everything right annoys the hell out of her. Okay, and I know that you're not probably going to believe this, but let's play this clip, and I wanted to come back and talk about this.
Say it again.
No, I said a nigga with a job and that do everything right, like he just turned me off, like he annoys the shit out of me, like that. For real. I don't know why, but it's just like, ew, go some.
So you heard what she had to say. Now let me just say this, guys. I've said that I felt that when I was coming up, a lot of ladies felt similar to this. But I think also in black male spaces, we throw the baby in with the bathwater. Let me give you an assessment of what I also saw in my academic career as a young man. When I lived in DC, when I went back to California, I'll tell you this also, that there are women around me that did not think like this young lady, okay, in the African American community. Now that I've gotten older and I'm going towards trying to be the best I can be and being successful, I never encounter anybody who thinks like this. And I think this is what we do a lot of times in black male spaces. We'll say, aha, see, I told you, this is how all of them think. And that isn't not really the case. Just think about the black men that live in Atlanta. I mean, I have friends who are very successful. I have friends that went to Harvard University MBA. I have some of my buddies who, went to Carnegie Mellon University. Some of my friends who went to Caltech. Then it doesn't matter about people like this. It matters when you're coming up in it. It can. But once you get out of this environment, you got to understand that there are people who are not like this, okay? And there might be Pookies and Ray Rays when you come up, but if you get out, you don't have to worry about this, okay? You just don't. This is not a problem of mine. And I'm going to tell you, it shouldn't be a problem of yours. There are going to be women who feel a lot of different ways in Black America. Some will think like this. There are many who are in the middle. There's some who don't think like it. And I used to have a problem with, single mothers because, not all, but the ones that, on Facebook, people would be, shouting them out and stuff like that. And then, our house had got broken in like 6 or 7 times. And I used to be very, very infuriated by this. But what I've realized is that this is not becoming of my life anymore. As long as the people like her don't bother me, I just don't care. And I know that it's tough if you grow up in it, if you come up in it. But really, if you work on yourself and you get around the right people, and in the internet age, where you have different black men that are doing things, different black women that are doing things. Hey, listen, this is not an issue for most guys. So what if she doesn't want to deal with a guy that has a job and it annoys her? It's her problem. As long as you and your kids and your family as long as they don't live around me, I don't give a damn what y'all do. You're entitled to your opinion. And I think a lot of times in black male spaces, we really harped on this, when really the conversation should have been above people like this. It has to be above people like this. And I think going forward, the conversation needs to be towards productive black people, black men in general, in particular, because we're the ones who are supposed to be building things, and then black women who want to be associated with those kind of black men. And let's talk about that. Bro, when you're a black man and you're doing very well, I don't know any black man that's over a 6-figure earner that I know personally that tells me, you know what, I just have a hard time finding black women who are on my level, who don't want pickles and rares. Bro, if they do like them, you don't have to deal with them. There's so many who you can deal with. What's the problem? Okay? A lot of guys use that as a reason to, I'm gonna interracially date because you see so many. Okay, fine. You still have the option to do something else. There are some people who want to be in the lower class. Everybody can't be an entrepreneur. Everybody can't be a lawyer, a physician. Everybody can't get to the NBA, and everybody can't get and be with a person that's high value or a guy that's hardworking. Okay, if she wants to date with a guy that wants to lay around, let her do it. That don't give us the right though to say, oh, you see what? This all of y'all don't like this. Come on now. I mean, I think that we got to understand. It's the same thing about black men. If you see a lot of underprivileged and performing black men and people attacking, you're gonna be upset. Like, whoa, y'all are throwing all the black men, and rightfully so. You just dismiss people who are not at the level that they should be at, and then you go around the people that you should be around. Certain people need to disqualify themselves, guys. It's survival of the fittest. If you're a top percentile performing person and you feel that God has a calling in your life to be somebody great, this is a person that you don't even care about what they think. They're not supposed to be there anyway. Thank you for canceling yourself, baby. Okay, well, you go over there with them. Then I'm gonna work hard to make sure that my kids never be around yours. End of story. That's it. Love you from afar, because I love all our people in the black community, even though I criticize them. But hey, there's levels to this. And I don't want a woman that thinks like that. Nothing personal, I just don't want it. And many black women know that if a man says something the same thing, you would feel the same way. So guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoon remains an all-time high. I'm out.